Welcome back to another video. This is Tor. In the background, I have some gameplay footage of this week's Calamity Codex, Nefarious Conoli. Honestly speaking, the triple rewards on the Calamity Codex is a very nice 150 Lumberber and 10 Calamity Codex box times 3. And even though getting like 30 Calamity Codex boxes, the chances of me getting a Star Flare has been zip. It's terrible. But anyways, the difficulty of this boss is really something else. It's not quite normal. Normally I'd be able to reach above Paragon within the first 2 tries, but now if you watch till the end, you'll see that I've had a hard time dealing with her tentacles. Well, this brings us into our first topic, which is the increased difficulty in boss stages. Although I've already begun to notice the extra difficulty on bosses since the Sleeping Dog event, EX6 Sacrifice Struggle is possibly in a tier of its own when we're talking about difficulty. I think it might even be a little bit unfair, and the reason for that is because one, it's not possible to predict the boss's movement. Minos literally walks around wherever he pleases, and he disrupts the tile. Now that's the second point. The disruption of the tiles really does ruin your gameplay. You're so close to possibly having this nice Aurora time 15 tile connection, and then he just straddles about and turns a tile one color into the next. And then lastly, the way where Minos walks, he takes the position on the board that reduces incoming damage. So what I mean by that is if you play the stage, you'll notice that when you get him into Minotaur state, he won't ever be in the middle of the board. He'll most likely have his back against the wall or somewhere in the corner. And how this reduces incoming damage is that there's not that many adjacent or diagonal tiles connecting to him that will allow damage. We can kind of see that this might cause a shift in character meta, so possibly characters that rely on doing normal attacks won't be as strong as, let's say, some sniper characters, because for this boss it seems like the only 6-star characters that thrive were the green 6-star snipers such as Paloma and Mythos. And I mean, if you had Mythos, it would have been a much easier approach, but not that many had Mythos. And I made a video on it breaking down Mythos, or I meant to say Minos. But anyways, I'm sort of seeing a similarity in style here in terms of boss creation with Nefarious Conoli, this week's Calamity Codex boss. Although it's a challenge for veteran players, which is like a good thing, it might not be the most enjoyable content or beginner inclusive. One can argue that these sort of challenges are directed towards long-term and dedicated players, and that there should be a reward for that. Like, if you have been playing for so long, you should get the rewards, and if you just played, you gotta work for it. But I kind of dislike this idea because the game certainly was not this difficult when I first started. If I had to think back to when Alchemy had their first event, which was Eye of the Storm, the story was about the leader of the Radizo Ranch, which is Sinsa. Sinsa was trying to go save his sister, if you guys remember, or to those who were playing since the beginning. The EX3 stage for that event, from my memory, was just Umbra Hulk, and he's a really big guy. Not only that, but his movement was clear and concise. If you hold on to the Umbra Hulk, you can tell where he's gonna go next. Now this is completely different from Minos. You have completely no idea where he's gonna go. Not only that, but for Umbra Hulk, his attack could be avoided. Minos, you cannot avoid attack. You will get hit every single round regardless. And then lastly, Umbra Hulk's mechanic was very obvious. You break the rocks before he hurls it, or it hurls it at you. And that's a great boss design. Minos, however, his mechanic was a little bit more complicated. It's hard to figure out, but eventually you'll get there. It's I like the design for Minos. It's a new thing and it's hard, and it also makes you think. But of course, we're just gonna have to keep a close eye on how Tordog will continue to design the future bosses. Next on the list, the official Twitter page for Alchemy has just released some sweet sneak peeks at the upcoming Persona 5 character art. I will tell you that for sure I will be rolling on the collab banner, so stay tuned and see if Lady Luck will bless me with the presence of these flaming characters. Also super excited to see how the characters will play and interact with the world of Alchemy Stars. I've never played Persona 5 that much. Maybe I'll give it a watch some gameplay so then I understand what's going to be happening. But let's hope together that Tordog will give us a little nice story arc with these characters so that we can fall in love with them. Just a little something to welcome these new characters into our world too, of course, to find a little place in our world, make some sense of why they're here in the first place. Another thing is that I wonder what sort of mechanics these characters will bring to the game. When we're looking at the character art, we can assume that the personas will definitely be included as an equipment effect. And aside from this, Alchemy Star has already released the in-game Persona 5 collaboration event preview, which many of you possibly have already seen. If you just go to the home menu in the game, it's right there. Make sure to complete those daily missions so that you can earn that delicious 600 Lumberber by the 5th day. That's about 2 summits. But that is all from me today. Please thumbs up the video if you liked it and subscribe for more. Hope this video has taken some pressure off of your week. Tor out!